Um, so there's a lot of things happening in my brain right now, mainly around this kind of trying to expand this idea that is in my brain about unifying concepts, at least in my mind, maybe like as a template for others to do as well if they resonate with it. Unifying these concepts and perceived demographics of people or occupations or worldviews, basically like differing worldviews. Unifying it in the context of myself, and just kind of I've been the technique I've been using is to kind of play devil's advocate with myself with everything, which is lots of philosophers have suggested this. This isn't like some, it's not something that I made up, but the idea that if you that you really need to be able to argue from every point, because everything is true, and especially, everything is true in your reality to an extent, but everything just in general is true. So one of the things I've been kind of grappling with that I've also talked about on videos, I think, is our political system, and how I've been thinking that there's this piece that I'm missing. There's it's a worldview that I haven't been able to completely resonate with yet, but I feel like I'm getting a little bit closer. And actually, my classes at the local community college have been helping me a lot, because I've been gifted with professors who are on this specific mission to explain what the spiritual significance of democracy is, or what democracy is as actual spiritual philosophy, which that is what it really is, or what it started out as, at least. But it still is that at its conceptual root. And what I've come to understand through my readings and my thinkings is that democracy is it, kind of. And this, I just feel stupid saying it, even because of the programs I've built up in my head about it, and about the number of politicians who talk about how it's democracy and we must spread democracy and we must kill all of those who don't believe in democracy. Just like we kill people for not believing in our religion, or not, just not holding our worldview. So it has nothing to do with what the philosophy is at a root. I think there's, I don't know. There's something to it, It's and there's something to everything. And I've caught myself in the habit of discounting just wells of wisdom of people who have come before me and thought really hard about things and lived long periods of time and been involved in politics in their respective countries and respective cultures, and come to certain conclusions about humanity and how humanity interacts and how humanity has historically interacted, and people who are maybe closer to really dramatic times of crazy circumstances, I don't know, like the plague and like the Dark Ages, and different crazy invasions and crusades and stuff, and people doing really crazy stuff to people, and people who are put under a significant amount of pressure, and how people who are sedentary develop hierarchies, and how all people have developed hierarchies. That's something really interesting I've been learning from my honors American Indians class, actually, is that for all cultures, all people who stop being nomadic end up creating hierarchies, and class structures develop, and people who hold power and inherit power, and there's a difference in we're studying like North American Indians, but the interesting thing about their structures is that people generally did not have the power to compel other people, and that's like even though largely the people were illiterate, except for an elite class that understood sacred geometry and how it applied to astronomy and how it applied to the cycles and how it applied to all these things. So they could do these really lavish, dramatic rituals on top of like their big pyramid in the middle of the city, where like the sun comes in at a certain place, and you can do this thing that like makes it look like you're doing things with the sun. You can build these huge wooden stick things like a Stonehenge, except with wood, and and like people who are like just doing the farming or the hunting and gathering and stuff, they're like, that guy knows things, and I am going to give a part of what I make or whatever to that guy and his family and all those other people who live on top of the magical pyramid, because he is really on top of it, and he tells me when to do certain things with my farming, and it makes it better. So it's not like, at that point, it's not the same as compelling somebody to do something. It's I don't know. It's people recognizing who's a good leader and allowing them to be in a position of power, and I think that's really significant. And I am done with this stream. I don't want to talk about it anymore, but maybe I'll philosophize about it more tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'm sure, because I'll be doing lots of studying today. And yeah, I love being a student and getting new worldviews and breaking down my judgments of things that I previously had more judgments on, especially relating to government and politics, because those judgments run deep. That's all.